Hey guys, Scott here, Pine Barren Craftsman again. I have a fun little video here today, kind of going off of the whole DVD, CD, VHS, showing off my collection, just to generate some interest about where I came from and kind of like my opinion of the different genres of music or car culture, and that's basically what I'm getting into right now. So like the way the whole car culture scene that I was into was delivered to me, it wasn't through the internet. We didn't have no Facebook. It was through car shows and magazines. You know, if you were looking and shopping for a car, you're in a newspaper. You're in the classifieds, right? The for sale pages. The auto shopper was a big thing. Every Saturday I went to my buddy's house. I ran and got a breakfast sandwich and came back, and it was a free auto shopper we could flip through. And there was a lot more cars for sale instead of like dealership deals, like for like new cars. But it was the magazines. I wanted to look at the pictures, flip through the pages. And it was towards the end, that was the end of that whole era. It's still going on now, but like most people now, they could just go on a Facebook and they could go to a group, a page that's set up by an admin, and they set up a specific, year, make, model, or era of cars, or a style of car work. You can get into whatever you want. And it's just that, so your page is getting customized. So you're getting bombarded with all this stuff. It used to just be like, hey, sit down with a magazine. And there was magazines that were for the dirties, naked pictures and all that. And then there was magazines for the cars. And then there was like a little gray area in between. I kind of was in the gray area in between. I liked the cars. I didn't mind having pinups. But if it was complete, naked, it kind of drove away from the car. There's a time and a place for the naked. So if any of these magazines pop up here, viewer discretion is advised. I don't think there's any nudity. But, these are the old 70s and early 90s and 80s stuff. Look, they got the old advertisements for different things. Hot rodding, old Model Ts. Drag strips. This is what it was about. I wish I could put all these on the wall. Look at this. There's a big block. Tunnel ram with 8 carbs. Strombergs, whatever. What do they call it? Hillborn injection system. Who knows? I don't know. I've flipped through these magazines for years. And this is what helped you figure out how to work on your car. You read the advertisements and you look at what you want to buy. But there was tech articles in here. And a lot of the old guys that I'm talking to, they noticed that I got this from a guy that was at a car show with his crates full of these things. I got boxes and boxes and boxes. I won't throw them out. I could go on the internet and look up any one of these pictures and get it. But it's something about holding it, and taking a look at it, and getting the idea for the subject matter, or if you want to figure out the style of your car, the traditionalist, right? The traditionalist versus a guy that's just complete an artist, or a guy that wants to go back to factory. I like to be in that world of customized cars, hot rodding, muscle cars. This is even after the muscle car craze, right? This is the last, whatever they said, the first generation muscle car craze. This is the end of it. This is way after. But I like the idea of getting into these little niches and understanding what they're doing. Hot rodding from the Race of Gentlemen is a period of time for bikes and cars, and they were built in a traditional way. They're not going to be all modernized. I think there's some safety things that they do, but that's about it. So I got through the old hot rodding magazines and custom car, whatever they were. I even got into the lowrider scene for a little bit. This was trucking. This was in the 90s, whatever, man. Imports were coming in too, but you can get it. I got a couple buddies I can think of right now. That's his truck from high school. He knows who he is. He probably won't watch the show. I don't know. But lifted trucks, street rods. Look at this. This was big thing, my age group, right? 2000 and I keep saying around 5, 6, 7, 8, around that time frame. I think it was 2008. I started getting into the hot rod, rods and old school rods and deluxe. This is what you did. You looked at these magazines, you flipped through the pages, And you got ideas. This is what Bad Chad was talking about in his video last night. And he didn't go into as much detail. Listen, you got rockabilly, you got products that you want to buy, you got, if you want to check the chicks out, they're in there for you. And that's fine. Like, I'm not against looking at beautiful women and beautiful cars, right? But a lot of times, I wanted to learn about the cars, man. I mean, beautiful women, there's a time and a place, man. Look at artwork, right? Look at that, man. Who's this? This is Johnny C-R-A-P, 2009. Johnny Crap, I guess. What I'm trying to get to is a younger crowd. Maybe they don't know about this, and it's something that's gone. I'm pretty sure it's gone. Like, does people even look into this stuff anymore? I'm sure you could still get these at like Barnes & Nobles. I remember I'd flip through them on the shelf at Barnes & Nobles. This was an older one here. And you just got ideas. What are you going to do with your car? And you, like, this guy's got a gasser on the hood. I didn't know what a gasser was till I got magazines like this. I learned about it. I didn't have nobody teaching me this. It was very hard. If you look at my other videos, the one I was talking about getting into new hobbies, it's very hard to walk into a hot rod or car show, especially the specific ones. Like when you show up with a car that you think would fit in. Like if I pulled up at a pre-62 car show with this car, no, you can't come in here with that, man. It doesn't meet the criteria. You can park around the corner. This is pre-62. Like, it hurt. I was like, man, I didn't know that was cool to you, and I thought this is cool to me. And I come to find out there's so many different, like, drift cars now, imports, lifted trucks, Jeeps. Like if I pull up with a newer Jeep and this is an old YJ crew, I don't know. It's just, this is how I had to learn, because everybody was kind of, they weren't mean, but it's like, do your research, kid. And this is what they told me to do. Look at and I did it, This is another Hot Rod Deluxe. In here, they had like different, and each magazine like had different quality, like they talk about stuff. On the East Coast, we didn't have much of this. I mean, it was there, the East Coast, but at least not where I was growing up. Suburbia, everybody was like into other things, maybe. Look at this. Look at this artwork, man. I mean, I love it. If you don't know about it, look into it. I'm sure you can get these magazines cheap. Guys like myself got collections they might be getting sick of looking at. Like this right here. This is exactly what went down every weekend. When the new magazine came out, people were fist fighting to get it. But you could subscribe, 30% off the cover price. 30% off. I'm sure you could do it still right now. A lot of guys say, like, this is what kept me up. I didn't have cable. Like I said, I was living by myself. These magazines were coming in. I think my mom got a subscription for me, as sad as that sounds. I hate taking anything from my family. But she's like, oh, you like that? We'll get that for you, for Christmas. So I got these coming in, or I was going to the store to get them. Jimmy Shine, right? He's in there. All the big names, SoCal. Look at this. I mean, are you guys into this stuff? I don't know. Look at that artwork. I think this is going to be something that's worth, not money, like, to anybody crazy, but it's going to be like nostalgia, looking back when I get older. We got motorcycles. I'm reading this book. The lady told me to read this book, and it's about a guy on a bike with a guide to maintenance. I'm gonna talk about it in another video here. So there's that. I just want to find one more thing here. Bear with me. Street rods. I learned the difference between street rods. I learned the difference between rat rods. Look, rebel rods, right? These are like rat rods. Look it up. Rat rods are basically like artistic expression. Anything goes. A lot of guys like that freedom because it's cheap. It's budget. You don't got to go find a specific year, make, model, and do it the way they did back in 1950s. So like these traditionals, they stick to a period of time, and it's passion. You love it. You're crazy about the stuff. You like look for the original parts. That's something that I always wished I could do. I had a Model A in here a while back, and it wasn't set up to be a traditional hot rod. It was a rat rod build, and I was looking at it, staring at it, wondering. That's why it's not here no more, because I wasn't going to be able to build what I wanted with that unit. It had a new Fox body Mustang transmission, a rear out of a Fox body Mustang. It had a Buick 62 in it, 62 Buick aluminum, which is a cool, different motor to put in that thing. So I thought that was neat, but I always wanted like a flathead, you know. Rebel rods. I'm passionate about this. I think that I touched on a little bit more about the difference between now and back then. I'm into like the dress up, you know, I didn't do it myself. Obviously, like the Sideburns, we all know where they came from, the Blues Brothers, but like I never went full dress up gear to go out, but I admired it. I appreciated it. I enjoyed the tattooed sleeve. That's why if you saw the other video, I'm wearing a fake tattoo. I was joking around with my buddy one day. I said I had a fake, I bought that at the store. So I'm just playing around making you guys laugh. But to me, the magazine is something that's probably going to be gone, you know? Maybe us older guys will watch it. And look at it and not watch it. But I wanted to make a video basically about where this came from for me. Hopefully you liked it. If you have any questions about any of the magazines, there's some subject matter in there that, you know, might even not be politically correct.